Hello everyone, and welcome to this third video of the computer vision series. In the last video, we saw how a computer reads an image. Moving forward in that direction, in this video, we will do some hands-on with Python and see how to read an image in a computer with Python. We will read an image by using the OpenCV library. OpenCV is the open source computer vision library which is used for all computer vision related problems in Python. OpenCV converts all the images to be read into a NumPy array. Now what is NumPy is? NumPy is a Python library which is used for working with arrays. It also has a function to work in the area of matrices and linear algebra. Since previously we have seen that computer will convert the image into a matrix when reading it. So when the computer will read the image with OpenCV, it will convert the image into a NumPy array. Now, if you're not familiar with NumPy and you want me to create a separate playlist on NumPy, let me know in the comment section of this video. For now, we'll head to our IDE and start with the practical implementation of reading an image into our computer. The IDE which we will be using throughout the series is the PyCharm IDE. So now I am here in my PyCharm IDE. So for being able to use the OpenCV in order to read and process images, we first need to install the OpenCV module in our PyCharm environment. For that, head to the File section, go to Settings, go to the Python interpreter. Here you will see a list of all the modules which are readily installed in the PyCharm environment. Now I have OpenCV Python installed here. In your case, if you are not having it pre-installed, go to the plus icon here and in the search bar write OpenCV-Python. Select the module which is available here on the topmost and click on the install package button. And now the OpenCV module will get installed in your PyCharm environment. Now, in order to read an image with the help of OpenCV, first of all, we need to make an import statement so that we import the OpenCV module into our program. Done with that, now we'll have to read the image, and for reading the image, the computer vision module provides us with a method known as imread. Now this imread method accepts two parameters. The first parameter is the path of the image which you want to read into your computer. Now, as you can see, I already have an image which is present in the same directory. So I do not have to mention the absolute path of the image. Rather, I'll just mention the name of the image. And the second argument which this method accepts is a flag which is either 0 or 1. Now placing 1 in the value of that flag indicates that you want to read this image as a colored image. Similarly, if you place 0 in the place of the flag, it indicates that you want to read this image as a grayscale image. For now, I'll place 1, which means I want to read this image as a colored image. Now, since the last post or the last video, we have been talking that computer reads an image as a matrix. If it is a colored image, it reads it as a 3D matrix. If it is a grayscale image, the computer reads the image as a 2D matrix. Now, here is the time to visualize that particular fact. Let us try printing this image and see how it is actually stored in the computer. So I have just used the print method and I have placed the img variable in which we have read the image. Now let's just run this. And here we are able to see that the image is being read as a 3D matrix. So as we discussed in the last video, the colored images are stored in a computer as a 3D matrix. Similarly, if we place 0 here and then I'll try to print this image, we'll see that this image is now stored as a 2D matrix. Okay, so I hope I am clear with that concept now, that for a colored image, the image is stored as a 3D matrix in the computer, and for a grayscale image, the image is stored as a 2D matrix in the computer. Moving ahead, now if I want to know the shape of this particular image which I have read, what I can do is, as we have read the image as a NumPy array, we just have to mention the shape attribute here, and with the help of the shape attribute we'll be able to know what is the shape of that particular image. First, let's convert this image into a colored image and now print out the shape of the image. We'll also print out the shape of the grayscaled image. Now in the output we are able to see that the shape of the image is 500 cross 800 and there are 3 channels, right, because it is a colored image. Similarly, if I replace this with 0 and now I try to print the shape, we'll be able to see that the size of the image is 500 cross 800 and there is only a single channel because it is a grayscale image now. Okay, so I hope you are clear with accessing the shape of the image and reading the image into the system. Okay, so now we'll move ahead and see how to display the image that we have read. In order to display the image that we have read, we will have to make use of a method known as the IMShow method. Now the IMShow method is the method which will create a window on your computer which will display that particular image that you have read. Now the IMShow method also accepts 2 different parameters. The first parameter is the name of the window in which the image is going to be displayed, while the second parameter is the name of the variable which holds the matrix in which the image has got stored. So as you remember, I have stored the image in the img variable, so I'll just put the img variable here. Okay, so the first argument in the IMShow method is the name of the window, and the second argument in the IMShow method is the name of the matrix in which the image is stored. So I have placed img here. Now, after invoking the IMShow method, next for displaying the image, what we'll have to do is we'll have to make use of another method known as the wait key method. Now, what this wait key method does is it accepts a parameter as an argument which will mention the delay for which you want to hold that particular window displaying the image onto your computer. If you provide 0 as a delay in this wait key method, it means that the window displaying the image will hold on to your screen until and unless you press a key on your keyboard. Or the second option is you can provide some delay in milliseconds here. If you provide 5000, it means you want the screen to hold for 5000 milliseconds, which is 5 seconds. Okay, so now if you provide 5000 milliseconds in the wait key method, it means that the image, the window displaying the image will hold on for 5 seconds on your screen. Now, for that window which is displaying the screen to get destroyed after 5 seconds, we'll have to make use of the another method known as the destroy all windows. Now this destroy all windows method, what it will do is, if you have mentioned a delay of 5000 milliseconds here in the wait key method, it will wait for 5 seconds, and after 5 seconds this particular method will automatically destroy that particular window in which the image is being displayed. Or let us say if you have mentioned 0 here in the wait key method as a parameter, then this destroy all windows method will wait for the user to press a key from his or her keyboard, and as soon as the user presses a key from the keyboard, this destroy all windows method will destroy that particular window in which the image is being displayed. Okay, so let us try executing this. So as you can see here, this is the output of my program. Here, this is the window which I have created for the image to be displayed, and inside the window here is the image available to us. Okay, and let me press a key on the keyboard so this goes away. And now let's try reading the colored image, and let's change this to 5000 milliseconds so that I don't have to press a key on my keyboard and the window automatically disappears after 5 seconds. Now this window waited for 5 seconds and automatically got destroyed. Now this is all for this video, guys. And if you have any doubt regarding Python and PyCharm installation, there is a detailed text-based tutorial which is available in the description box below. Go to that and clear your doubts regarding the Python and PyCharm installation. Also, there is a detailed text-based tutorial available for the entire code which we have gone through in this entire tutorial. Also do check it out, and if you like the content in this video, please like this video, please share this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.